Welcome, Capricorn, to your September reading and my channel. Milk and Honey Tarot Therapy. You've been with me since 2017, the beginning. Thanks for still watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I am an intuitive therapist. I do a lot of energy healing. I work one-on-one with people, not just for readings, but I do healing work, helping people get unstuck. I'm trained as a formal therapist, but I use transformative metaphysical tools and I do executive coaching at times, but I love working with people one-on-one. So if that interests you, my information is below, and let's get started. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So watch all your videos. Some might resonate with you a little bit more than the others. And we've got some great energies coming in for September astrologically. You know, August was a huge month for the North and South nodes changing sign, the eclipses, all about leaving behind what doesn't serve us anymore and moving to new paths, new directions. So let's see what is showing up for you, Capricorn, in this reading. Well, first we have coming out Eight of Cups. Now, this is definitely about moving away from something. This card, though, you know, the indication is something's been missing. Something wasn't enough in whether it was a relationship. As a general reading, this might be a relationship for you. It might be a job, a career, but it, it just wasn't enough, and it was time to leave. 8 is a number of progress and reward. So coming to that conclusion, accepting that, and taking that, having the courage to step out into that new path is something you should feel good about. This man, there's not a lot of drama associated with this. I don't get this was some big blow up or crisis. This was just sort of this, he's quietly leaving, going towards the mountains. He's got the moon and water, which always in the tarot represents your intuition, your guidance, the higher guidance. So for some of you, you're just, something was missing and it was time to leave. You may be evaluating. This is Seven of Pentacles. This is about putting in a lot of hard work. Maybe this is why you were leaving. You were putting in effort and working hard. Maybe you were trying to make a relationship work and it just wasn't, or you weren't getting back the amount of effort you were putting in. If this was a career or a job, you were working hard. This man is, sometimes this Seven of Pentacles is about waiting for the harvest. Like you're tired, you've planted a lot of seeds, you're waiting for, you know, some harvest has come in, but not enough. And if this is work or a relationship, maybe you feel like you're at that mode of you don't know what to do. Is this worth sticking in? Is it worth the investment you've already made? Or is it time to leave? And again, with the Eight of Cups, for some of you, the message is yes. You might want to begin to look at what is missing, be honest with yourself about it. For others of you, though, I do get that there's this period where, sorry, the table's shaking. You're just in a limbo about knowing what to do. We're getting the Hangman, and this might be a waiting period. You feel like you're in limbo. You're not sure what to do. This Hangman is actually smiling, and he's got, you know, the light all around, halo light around his head. While it seems like nothing's happening, something is incubating for some of you, whether it's an idea, a plan, a relationship that you aren't sure whether it's, you feel like something's missing, but maybe if there's this getting through this period, you're going to see the results you're really hoping for. Let's see what other cards we've got here for you during this reading. What's going to help get you to the next level, to get you the answers you need? Well, here we have ask your angels. And this is a very helpful, if you've not Learn to ask your guardian angel or ask some of the archangels to help, to step in. Angels will not interfere. They're always with us. They're, especially your guardian angel has always been with you every lifetime. They're there to help, but you have to ask. And we kind of take for granted, even if we believe that they're there, we forget to ask. And you can call on the invisible resources of heaven, if you will, to intervene, to give you answers, to show you the direction. But for some of you, it's definitely a waiting period because we're getting another card to wait. So that might be the uncomfortable part, the most uncomfortable part. Delays are not denials. Just keep that in mind. You're just in a phase where not everything is clear, but it will start to become clear. For some of you, you may feel like, you know, there's a sense of boredom kicking in. We've got this card of chopped wood, which is, this is about just doing mundane things. And maybe you need to start doing the things that'll just focus on the little things, so to speak, the mundane things. And you may be feeling like it's boring, it's slow, the results aren't coming, it's a never ending story. But I'm not getting, other than, for some of you, it is time to think about what's missing. But others of you, it might be cultivating it, where, like, bloom where you're planted kind of thing. This energy is, okay, I've put in a lot of work. Where do I need to continue to focus my energies? And maybe it's just feeling like you're being asked to take a risk into something, come to the edge, which is all, it's that similar of stretching you in your comfort zone. Moving to higher ground sometimes takes us through waiting periods where we feel like nothing is happening. And of course, you're getting the message to wait, but you're also getting the message to call on your angels to ask for the guidance. For those of you really looking for time frames, the tarot and all work like that. Psychic work is time, and timing is hard to predict. But for some of you, this message is coming through in the near future. When will you see a breakthrough? When will you start to see some movement, some results? Maybe not the whole picture, but enough that is going to give you some answers, almost like a breakthrough, move you past this moon card where there's this apprehension about the future. Sometimes this is dealing with hidden information that needs to still be revealed. But other times, this is about dealing with your own fears and insecurities or limitations and working through that. And as you do some inner work to, get clarity, get a green light, see the next steps. And for many of you, I do think there's a path you've been on that you're just wanting more. You're wanting more results, more fun, more adventure, and that's gonna come. But it's gonna come as you live in that moment first. That chopping wood, you get comfortable with the mundane, the waiting. You kind of relax a little bit and not get so attached to the outcome. And then you're going to have this decide to be happy now. That's part of that message is, if you get happy now, if you get content now, then what's trying to show up for you is going to come at a much faster pace. Just learn to, laugh at things again. Maybe you've been too serious. You've been too focused on what isn't happening yet, that you need to shift over into something lighter, carefree, enjoyment. We've got this sense of humor card, which is just getting back into joy, getting back into laughter and a lighter reaction instead of, and this card coming through too, passion and pleasure. Go back to sort of that feeling of, it's all going to work out. I can relax. I can enjoy the moment. I can do the mundane things I might be needing to do, whether it's work or things around your home. And then you can begin to manifest this, the Magician. It's kind of like you have to turn that corner first of surrender, a type of surrender. I don't get that this is some big, huge thing you're having to let go of, but you're just surrendering the being over anxious, overthinking, over worrying. And then the magician energy will show up. The every tool in the toolbox you need to create and to move forward, ascend to the mountain, all of a sudden progress is going to happen, and it's going to happen in like quickly once you get through the waiting period and your attitude about the waiting period. I get for many of you, it's just adjusting your own perspective on the waiting and the uncertainty, the moon, the, it's just working, doing the inner work. And then again, like the magician card, you can go forward fearlessly. You can begin to see results. You can manifest. You can start to see and call on, kind of like the same card of calling on your angels. There is a wondrous universe. You're not in this alone. Maybe some of you need to hear that. You've been feeling alone lately. You know, this man is alone walking away. The Seven of Pentacles is alone doing the work, and the limbo, you feel alone. But you've got this whole universal energy, angels, helpers, your higher self, which is always connected to God. The wondrous universe is there to support you. And this man is dressed like a magician. He's like a wizard. He's, when you're tapping into the universal energies and you get in flow and you get out of fear, you get out of worry, you begin to have this. And then when you have the manifesting tools and resources, and really it's just a matter of raising your vibration to that level, which is about ascending. You're ascending to a higher frequency. And when you manifest from that higher frequency, you manifest like this. Everything you want, everything that's yours will show up. The money, the relationship, the family, the happy community. There's so many things in this Ten of Pentacles. It just represents all the things that would be your heart's desire. Whatever that translates to you, whether it's in your relationship, in your career, with your family, with your health, it all begins to fall into place. But it does start, and the message for you this month is, if you're in a waiting period, don't get discouraged. If things are delayed, don't get discouraged. If you're apprehensive and unclear, don't get discouraged. Become that lighthearted, higher frequency of just joy and gratitude. And that's the real message, I think, for you, Capricorn, to shift is to get into joy and definitely gratitude. The times in my life I have felt the most stuck and blocked and overwhelmed and stressed. I raised 3 kids by myself for 15 years, and at times finances were hard and career paths were hard and different things weren't working. But the minute I could quit overthinking about that and fretting about that and even trying to come up with my own solutions and shift it into gratitude, no matter what the situation was, if I could tap into gratitude and genuinely feel grateful for what I did have, for my children, for being provided for things I couldn't even see yet, doors began to open. I mean, I could tell you some amazing magical moments that begin to happen. And then the dust, the way clears and green lights happen and conversations happen and connections happen and things build. All that positive energy does build. So the message for you I'm getting, Capricorn, is to, no matter what's happening, no matter what's delayed, whatever you're wrestling with, it's confusing you, but shift into gratitude and fear. Maybe write out and journal what you're grateful for before you drift off to sleep. Think about what you're grateful for. Say, how can it get any better than this? The universe, the universal energies. When we ask a question that way, how can it get, excuse me, any better than this? The universe likes to prove to us how it can get better. It's very funny how that works that way. It is magical. So instead of saying, Why is this happening? How can it get any better than this? And say it whether you feel like things are good or whether you feel like they aren't good, because the universe will always answer you with, let me show you how it can be better. And when it gets better, say it every day again. How can it get any better than this? And the universe will answer that question with a positive. That is a trick and a life hack, if you will, a spiritual hack of how we tap into those, not just higher vibrations, but the ability to receive from a higher place. So hopefully that helped some of you, Capricorn. And if you want to go deeper and want a deeper reading or working on situations, if you're feeling stuck, my information is below. I really love working one-on-one with people. It is my greatest joy, and I love it. And if you're new, again, thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff, and commenting. It does help the algorithm, and it does get the videos out there and raise the channel a little bit. So thank you for doing that, and I'll see you next time.